Hey folks, Royd Free Senior back again. Today I want to talk about a cable program from Chuck Sipes. Actually, the article was written by Dennis Weiss. It's from 1982, but it's focused on Chuck Sipes cable training. And Chuck did a lot of cable training. There were a lot of times when he was away from the gym or any access to the gym because he was out in the wilderness on these camping trips, which he did with troubled young men, which is one of the awesome things that he did. So on those trips, he always took a set or two of cables with him, and that's how he got his training in. And he was a big proponent of cable training, actually. And one of the things he talked about, one of the things he was big on in general, was tendon and ligament strength, which he addressed some of his weight training with like um, static holds and isometric pushes, against the rack and things like that. And he also believed that cable training did a lot for um, tendon and ligament strength, and it hit you in ways that the weight training didn't. All that said, um, some of the immediate advantages of cable training are that they're light, they're easy to store. You could throw it in a suitcase. You could have them at work, so they lend themselves very easily to portability and all that kind of stuff. Um, and there are several different types. There's the old spring type, which a lot of people prefer, and then there's the flat rubber kind of strands, and then the more tubular rubber ones. And these days you have just the tubes, individual tubes of different strengths with handles, which is similar, and they can be used, for the same movement and stuff too. Um, the only one disadvantage to the spring ones is when it can pinch you, grab a hold of your hairs and stuff like that when it gets up against your chest. All that said, uh, sets, reps, rest periods should be selected according to your individual needs and the amount of time that you have. For example, he says if your goal is to achieve greater upper body muscularity, a specialized cable training course of 30 minutes to an hour, 4 days a week is best. And these 4 days, you'll find yourself using only the cables, and the other 2 days using the weights. Obviously, Chuck was big on like a 6 day split typically, which is something that I don't agree with and I've never done, but it worked for Chuck. Um, so we're going to talk about some specialized areas. Uh, During the 4 day week, 30 to 60-minute program, he says use speed with with each movement of your exercises, but smooth movement. Um, Strive for shorter rest periods between each set of exercises, and that way you'll be able to add more sets in the allotted 30 to 60-minute time slot. One of the most important points is as you pull the cables through the movement, more and more attention is put on, here we go, the tendons, ligaments, and muscles. Thus, cables have the faculty of stimulating muscle growth faster because of the increased resistance as they are stretched through the full range of the movement. In the high range or completed area of the movement, concentrate on a deeper, wider stretch. And for added muscularity, hold the maximum stretch position for a count before the next repetition. And then if you don't want to specialize on the 4 day a week thing, I would encourage a bodybuilder to just use cables in addition to your barbell program. And he lays out a schedule for doing that. And which he says during the first 2 months, you do 3 sets of cable work after all your sets per body part have been completed. And then, I'm sorry, 2 sets in the first 2 months. Second 2 months, then you get up to 3 sets of cable work after all your other stuff, all your weight work. And then in the third month and thereafter, you could do 4 sets of cable work per body part. Um, Now, he goes on. So in the first 2 months, uh, for deltoids, for example, 2 sets of cable movements after all your barbell deltoid stuff is done. Same thing, biceps and triceps. So that would be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in his scenario. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you would do chest, um, 2 sets of cable movements after your barbell work. Same thing for lats, same thing for traps and forearms. That's just how he has it laid out. You could lay it out any way that you wanted to. Um, and then he gives a list of um, some of the exercises that are good for each of these body parts. Unfortunately, there's only the picture with him doing the upright rows and the curls that you see in the beginning here, but there's not pictures of Chuck doing all these particular exercises. However, I did find some good pictorials with Reg Park from around the same era doing exercises with the different cable work, and I'll show some other pictures from different programs so that we'll at least have illustrations or photos of all the exercises that we're going to lay out. And then I'm going to give you sort of a master sheet of exercises that goes above and beyond what's here if you want to go crazy with doing every possible cable thing that you could do.